Hello everyone, here to talk about Section M through the close of the questionnaire here for June area. Section M is talking about land values, fairly important. Policymakers use this information quite a bit as well, you could guess. It's a little tricky here getting into the actual survey. Questions 1 and 2 are referring to the tract acres, which means all the land that is inside the blue tract on the aerial photo. You can also look at Section D to make sure. You see there's numerous points where it says refer to Section D. So that's what we're talking about for questions 1 and 2. Here we see question 1. Now, when it's asking about market value, I want to make sure we're asking about market value, which is not the appraised value. Not asking about anything else. We want market value, the land, the value that it could be sold for under current market conditions. Now, many farmers will say, I have no idea what current land values are. That's fine. So, for the value per acre, you want to make sure you're getting the right type of land. So if there's cropland in Section D, we want a value for the cropland. If there's just pasture in Section D, that's the only thing that we want in there. If it's only pasture, we only want a value for pasture. Question 2, again, we're still talking about the acres that are inside the tract boundary, and that's for the most likely use of this land. Ag use only, immediate development, expected future development, or other. Questions 3 through 6 now, we're switching to referring to the entire farm, their total acres operated. And this is very important. I cannot emphasize this enough. If the farmer will not answer, just leave it blank. We're not looking for your estimate here. And though we value your knowledge very much, but in this case, we definitely just want what the farmer will say. And if they will not answer, leave it blank. Don't put in your estimate here. Though we do appreciate it. All right, section N. We have the point recording sheet, and you're only going to need to fill this out if they had less than $1,000 in sales or government payments, which you find out just earlier. So for the type of farm, we're basing this on gross value of sales, and you're going to select the category that the largest portion of their sales came from. If they say it was about 50-50, ask them which group is more important. And if they still just can't answer, then put a note off to the side. Say it was, grain and cattle equally important. Put a note off to the side. But do your best to get them to pick one. And don't forget to actually enter the code. Here's an example. So they picked grain was the most value of sales came from, and so you're going to write a 1 down there in the code box. The operator characteristics section can be a little touchy. We do need to ask, but if they refuse one of these questions, then you can guess from observation only. A lot of cases it's easy to guess, but make sure you're at least asking one or two of them, for statistical purposes. You don't want to assume that you know anything. Alright, now the last page, very important. Make sure you put the date in there. That is surprisingly important. We don't do that just because it needs to be filled in by the computer, but we also use this to help track the surveys and find out when you actually talk to them and when it sent it in. So we need that if there's a problem with UPS. If UPS isn't getting stuff to us quickly, well, we use these dates to help us figure that out. Also extraordinarily important, your enumerator number must be in there, and it must be 5 digits. We frequently have a habit of, if it takes us too much trouble to look up your enumerator number, we might just put in the office enumerator number, and you may not get credit for that work. So, super important that you put in your enumerator number. So, to recap, Section M, a little complicated. Questions 1 and 2 are for the tract acres only. Questions 3 through 6 are for the whole operation. If they will not answer, leave blank. Do not estimate, please, for their land value. Fill in the points page only if you've selected 1 or 99, which is no sales in 2016 or 2017 or less than $1,000. And if you want to get credit, make sure you write your 5-digit enumerator number on the back page.